You know those airport departure lounges where everyone looks like they're either in deep thought or about to cry? Well, picture a man named Ibou is standing there waiting for his flight back to America, but his mind is not on the plane. It's on the drama unfolding between him and his sister Fatima. And honestly, if this were a Nollywood movie, someone would be crying into a handkerchief while shouting, "You have forgotten us, Ibou. You are no longer one of us." This is the heart of Salle de Départ by Melissa Tandiwe Myambo, a story that takes the classic immigrant narrative, leaving home, finding success abroad, and twists it into something both deeply familiar and refreshingly unique. And oh boy, it is messy. Ibou is that cousin who left for America, and when he comes back, he doesn't even look the same. The boy who once ran barefoot through the dusty streets of Senegal is now strutting around in jeans, possibly sagging, a baseball cap, and of course, an iPod. If you've ever seen someone return from abroad and suddenly they're too foreign for the local food, the local weather, and even the local people, you know exactly who Ibou is. Fatima, his sister, is not impressed. She has one request, one huge request. She wants Ibou to take her son Babacar, an 11-year-old boy, to America with him. Not for a vacation, but for a future. Take him with you, she's basically saying, and give him the life that you got when Uncle helped you years ago. But Ibou? He's having none of it. He's changed. He's no longer the kid who lived and breathed the communal African way of life. He's been in America for almost half of his life, soaking up that I and me individualism. And he's just not interested in being everyone's savior anymore. To him, Babacar isn't his responsibility. Now let me tell you, home in Africa is never just about your nuclear family. It's not just you, your spouse, and your children. It's everyone. Aunties, cousins, uncles, nieces, nephews, and that guy whose relationship to you can only be described as my brother's sister's husband's son. These are your people. And if you happen to get rich, or even just slightly better off than the rest, it's your duty to take care of them. Ibou knows this system well. After all, he benefited from it. Their uncle once took Ibou to America, giving him a chance at the life he now enjoys. But Ibou doesn't see that as a reason to keep the cycle going. Fatima, though, isn't letting him off the hook that easily. She's basically like, "Oh, you think you just woke up one day and became successful? No, my brother, I stayed behind, I sacrificed so you could shine." And she's right. Fatima's education was cut short so that Ibou could have the best. She was rooted into the soil of the land, as the story puts it, while Ibou became the wind itself. I love that metaphor because it captures their dynamic perfectly. Fatima is the one stuck in place, enduring life's hardships, while Ibou is free to drift wherever he pleases. But Fatima's dreams for her son Babacar are bigger than herself. She doesn't care if America turns him into another Ibou. She just wants him to have a chance at a better life. And who can blame her? When the alternative is an eternity of poverty and struggle, you don't stop to ask, but what if Babacar forgets his roots? Ibou's alienation isn't just about his family, it's about everything. His dressing alone screams, "I am no longer one of you." Picture a young man in a baseball cap and jeans, earphones plugged in, standing in the middle of Senegal, a country steeped in tradition and religion. He sticks out like a sore thumb. And speaking of religion, Ibou doesn't even bother with its basic tenets anymore. He's not fasting during Ramadan. He doesn't seem to care about the customs that once defined him. To Fatima, this isn't just disappointing, it's baffling.
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! How dare you!
And of course she blames Gada, Ibou's live-in girlfriend in America. She's the one filling your head with all this nonsense, Fatima seems to think. Their conversations are tense, full of misunderstandings. One particularly funny but sad moment is when Ibou says, "There's no space for Babacar." Fatima takes it literally and laughs, replying that Babacar can sleep in the living room. The poor woman just can't wrap her head around Ibou's refusal. To her, it's not just about logistics, it's about love, responsibility, and family. The story I've been talking about is Salle de Départ by Melissa Tandiwe Myambo. It's one of the shortlisted works for the 2012 Cane Prize, and honestly, it's easy to see why. The beauty of Myambo's story is that it doesn't pick sides. It doesn't portray Ibou as cruel or heartless for wanting to live his own life, nor does it criticize Fatima for trying to secure a future for her son. Both of them are products of their circumstances. Ibou's point of view makes sense. He's exhausted by the weight of communal expectations. Imagine working hard your whole life only to have every relative line up with a shopping list. It's draining. But at the same time, Fatima's pain is real. She gave up everything for Ibou. Now that it's her turn to ask for help, why is he suddenly pretending he's alone in this world? For me, the tension between them is the story's heartbeat. Every word drips with emotion: anger, guilt, resentment, love. It's like watching a tug of war between tradition and modernity, but without anyone being wrong. And then there's Babacar. Poor kid. He's just there, caught in the crossfire of his uncle's modernity and his mother's hope. The question is, if Ibou takes him to America, will Babacar lose himself the way Ibou did? Will he become an unidentifiable entity, shaped by a culture that isn't his own? But Fatima isn't thinking about that. When the future is on the table, all the what-ifs fade away. It's better to risk losing your roots than to guarantee a life of struggle. This story is sharp, it's heartfelt, and honestly, it's very relatable for anyone who has experienced the tug-of-war between home and the new world you move into. Personally, I found Ibou to be a little too hard-hearted. He's not wrong to want to live freely, but to me, a person who has benefited from help must not turn their back on others, especially not on a kid like Babacar, who represents the same hope that once carried Ibou across the ocean. But I also can't help but sympathize with Ibou. The burden of being the one who made it can be overwhelming. Sometimes you just want to be your own person without constantly being pulled back by family obligations. The story doesn't hand you answers. It's up to the reader to decide who they side with, and that's what makes it so powerful. Melissa Tandiwe Myambo is a brilliant writer whose work often explores identity, migration, and belonging. She's the author of Jacaranda Journals from Macmillan, South Africa, published in 2004, a collection of short stories set in Zimbabwe. Her work has also been featured in Prick of the Spindle, the Journal of African Travel Writing, 34th Parallel, and Opening Spaces, an anthology of contemporary African women's writing. If you're looking for African fiction that moves beyond the usual narratives, this story is a gem. It's non-judgmental, deeply emotional, and packed with moments that make you question where your loyalty lies. Are you Team Ibou or Team Fatima? Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.